There you go. Okay, so we'll get started. We're going to start lying down today as well. If you want to, you can take the soles of your feet together and lie like that. Again, just whatever suits you and feels right. Just lying down, maybe bend your knees or have your legs straight. And if you want to, if you've got the soles of your feet together, you can also take your arms just over your head. Sometimes that gives you a nice stretch across your chest as well. You can bend your elbows, which you've got them there, and just relax your arms. And just see kind of how it feels. So if it's a little bit too much for your lower back, then definitely bring your arms back over again. And then we'll begin the practice just by taking a deep inhale through your nose. And then just breathing out through your mouth. Just trying to let all of the air go. We'll do that again. So deeply inhaling. So see if you can fill up as much as you can. And then on the exhale, just let everything go again. As you come to the end of that, then we'll just close your lips. And just begin to breathe just in and out through your nose. Allowing the breath to smooth out. Using our breath to see if we can perhaps release any tension that we're feeling. Help us to relax onto the mat a little bit more. Without trying to change the breath too much, but just staying focused on it. So today's practice is a practice in Pratyahara. The Pratyahara means withdrawal of the senses. So it's really the first of our 8 limbs of yoga, which talks about drawing ourselves inwards. So the first 4 limbs are kind of more external observances, whereas the 5th limb is where we start to draw ourselves inside. And we do that by taking the senses away, so the senses of sight and smell and sound. So today, 3 times we'll close our eyes in a posture and just see if it changes the feeling of the posture, our experience of it. So begin to move, so you can release your arms back over. You can use your hands now just to press your legs back together. As you take your legs back together, we'll start to separate your feet a little bit. So have your feet maybe at distance apart here. So we're going to do a little moving bridge. You can release your arms down by your sides. When you're ready, on an inhale, just going to press the lower back towards the mat. Tilt your pelvis a little bit, and then start to just peel your back just a little bit up off the ground. So just get to where it feels best to you. And then as you exhale, we're going to slowly release down again. So trying to press the reach vertebrae of your spine down a little bit at a time. So we'll do that again. So inhale, pressing the lower back down, tilting the pelvis up. Start to lift up. And on the exhale, releasing down. Again, with these quite simple moves, you can always close the eyes and just concentrate on linking your breath to your movement. And being conscious of how the movement feels in your body. We'll do that one more time. So just take your time, just moving up and moving down in your own pace, in your own time. And you release yourself all the way back down again. So again, take your time to do it. We're just going to draw your knees in towards your chest. So as you draw your knees in, keep the hands onto your knees or your shins. And as you inhale, we're going to draw the knees in, lifting and curling the tailbone up off the ground. On the exhale, slowly release it down. And then if you'd like to, as you inhale and lift your tailbone up, you might want to lift the upper body, so you're drawing your nose up towards your knees. And slowly releasing down. So again, we're stretching a little bit through the hips. But still being focused on our breath and our movement. We'll do that twice more. So again, just take your time. And last one. So as you come back down again, just move the hands to the back of your thighs. If you'd like to here, you can roll back and forward. So just doing that a few times, as many as you like really, until you come up, or you could roll over onto your side and make your way up from there. Just whatever feels right to you. As you come in, we're going to come onto your hands and onto your knees, just spreading your hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Now we're going to move a little bit through your hands here, so trying to warm up through your wrists a little bit. So when you're ready, we're going to circle over your hands at the top, and then we're going to press back a little bit towards your heels. And start to just move and breathe, maybe closing your eyes. You can move all the way back, so you're taking your hips all the way back towards your heels, and maybe move further forwards as well. So if you want a little bit more of a stretch through your wrists, just slightly move over the top. And you're ready, we're going to change direction. So moving the opposite way, trying to draw your attention inwards. And be focused on the breath and the movement. And when you're ready, come back in, so towards the center. And from here, we're going to stretch a little bit more through your wrists and your hands. So first of all, if you just turn your fingers towards each other. So we're just turning the hands in. And when you're there, just kind of play about with the weight of your body, so you can move forwards or back, just depending on how much sensation you want to feel there. So the fingertips are facing towards one another. And then from there, we'll turn the hands back, so they're still facing now towards the top edge of your mat. And then we're going to flip the hands over. So you could flip your right hand over first, maybe just have the back of the hand down. And again, it is the back of the hand, so it's not just kind of a little bit of your hand. So see if you can press that down. If you want to do both of your hands at the same time, then you can. So if you're able to do that and it feels okay. Again, just be aware of where your body weight is, because it will change it. So if you're doing both, stay there. If you're doing one, change hands. So flip that one over and then take the other one over. Then just gently just being aware of too much sensation. When you're ready, we'll come back in. So both hands are now facing towards the top edge of your mat again. So from there, we're going to turn the hands out the way so that the fingertips face away from one another. So you're just taking one kind of quarter turn out on both hands. You can just stay here, so that might be enough. If you want a little bit more, you could turn the hands one more quarter turn, so towards your thighs. But again, some people can do both. Some people are happier doing one. So you just work with what feels right. And if you're doing one, you can change and do the other one. Again, if you want to stay just at that first quarter turn as well, you can. When you're ready, we'll turn the hands all the way back round again, so they're facing towards the front again. And then from there, we're just going to stretch out or give them a little shake. So you could move back, so you're just sitting back onto your heels, and then just pick up the hands and shake them out. And then from there, if you want to, just create fists with both hands and just start to circle the wrists round just in one direction. And then move that and take it the other way. Okay, we'll give them a little shake again. And then we're going to come back into that all fours position when you're ready. So it's moving in. As you come in, we're going to come into Anahatanasana. So that's our heart melting or our puppy dog pose. So make sure that your hip and your knee are in line here as you do this. And then walk your hands forwards. And very gently start to just press your chest down towards the mat. Again, take your time and you might move all the way down. And there's two ways of doing this. You can either do it with your forearms down, some people like to do that, or keep your forearms lifted and then press your upper body further down. So just see kind of how it feels for you. Okay, we'll take one more inhale here. When you're ready, make your way back up. So come into all fours once more. And then from here, we're going to move into our first downward facing dog. So we'll tuck the toes under and we'll start to the left and press the hips back. So as you come into this down dog, start to spread your hands. Maybe pedal your feet out so you could bend through one leg. And then start to bend through the other leg. But again, you just work whatever feels best to you. To feel the body opening up a little bit. Maybe in this first down dog, maybe you could close your eyes when you find a little bit of stillness and just focus more on the sensation of the posture, how it feels in your body. You can still bend your knees, separate your feet a little bit wider if you like. Now we are going to flow through these two moves. So when you're ready on an inhale, we're just going to lift your heels up off the ground and then lower your knees back down. So we're coming back into that all fours position. On an exhale, we're going to walk the hands forward. So we're coming back into that puppy dog pose. Press your chest down towards the mat. As you inhale, come back up and walk your hands in so they're directly underneath your shoulders again. And then on the exhale, we'll tuck the toes and we'll lift the hips. Downward facing dog. So we'll do that again. So inhale, lift your heels up, start to lower the knees down. Come to all fours. Exhale, start to walk your hands forwards and then pressing down through your chest. Inhale, coming back up, walk your hands underneath your shoulders. And on the exhale, we'll tuck the toes and lift the hips downward dog. Okay, we'll do that one more time through. So again, lifting your heels up, lowering the knees on the inhale. Back to flow through it. Again, sometimes you can just close your eyes and just concentrate on the movement. When you're ready, we'll meet back in that downward facing dog. So again, any little movements you want to take, and there will be quite a few down dogs today, so if you do want to take it into a child's pose at any point, then you can do that, and then you can come back into down dog. So really up to you. So you can move into a child's pose for a breath or two. There will be kind of about 5 on each down dog. So you can use them. And then when you're ready, we'll move forwards and we'll move back to down dog. So we're going to move our way up towards the top of the mat. So again, you could lift your heels, walk or step up, or any way that you choose to come up towards the top of your mat. When you get there, separate your feet and bend your knees and then fold forwards towards your legs. So just folding everything up. Again, draw the belly in, lift the hips a little bit. Whatever feels right to you. Have your hands on your legs or let the arms dangle down. And if you want to take hold of opposite elbows here, then just do that. You can gently sway a little bit. And if you want to keep your hands on your thighs or support yourself in any other way, then do that. Okay, when you're ready, we'll release the hands down. And then from there, we're going to inhale and lengthen. So you're going to stretch forwards through your spines. A nice flat back. On the exhale, we'll just fold back in again. And then as you inhale, we're going to reach up and rise all the way up towards the top. So reaching up with your hands. And then draw the palms together in front of your hand. Maybe take a moment there with your eyes closed. So just in our mountain pose, just noticing our feet on the ground, any movements that our body makes. And tune back into your breath. So make sure you keep conscious of your breath. Okay, release the hands, we'll open the eyes. So making sure you're at the top of your mat, coming into Tadasana or mountain pose. Again, if you want to grab some blocks here, then you might want to use them for the next bit. You can see you go. So we'll release the arms, draw the shoulders back. As you inhale, we'll reach up. So reaching up, maybe looking up at your thumbs. And on the exhale, we'll fold forward, so bending into your knees as you lower down towards the ground. Again, take your time. As you inhale here, lengthen your spine forwards. On the exhale, we're going to take the hands down. We're going to step back with your right leg into a high lunge position. So our knee is off the ground. However, if you want to place your knee down, then you definitely can. Now from here, again, either on your fingertips or on blocks. So you could grab a couple of blocks here and just have one either side if you wanted to. And we're going to start to move again through kind of a cat-cow movement here. So as you inhale, we're going to kind of stretch your chest forwards and lift your head a little bit. And then on the exhale, we're going to round through your upper back and your shoulders. So we do that again. So inhale, start to stretch and lengthen forwards. On the exhale, just rounding through your back, tuck your chin to your chest. Okay, let's do that once more. So again, inhale, stretch forwards. And exhale, rounding in. And then from here, come back kind of to a more neutral position with your hands still on the ground. If you've got your back knee down, lift it up and then step back into a plank position. You are going to lower to the ground straight away here, so you can bend your knees, lower them down, and then just bend your elbows and lower yourself all the way down towards the mat. So when you get there, we're keeping our hands under our shoulders because we're going to do a little bit through our Cobra. So press your toes towards the mat, pubic bone down. As you inhale, if you can imagine there's a little marble in front of your nose, you're just going to roll that forwards and then start to lift through your forehead, your nose, your chin, and lift the chest up a little bit. And then on the exhale, you're going to slowly release all the way back down. So do that again. So rolling that marble forward, start to draw the shoulders back. You don't have to lift very high, but you just want to lift a little bit so it feels quite nice in your back. And then slowly release all the way back down. Okay, let's do that once more. So again, just take your time, just rolling forwards and up. Get that kind of curve in your spine as you lift up. And then on the exhale, we'll start to release all the way down. Okay, from there, we're going to come back up. So with your hands underneath your shoulders, just push yourself up to an all fours position first. And then from that all fours, we'll tuck your toes and we'll lift your hips and press back downward facing dog. So again, if you feel that at this point you just want to move into a child's pose for a moment, then definitely do that. So the 5 breaths in this down dog are entirely at your disposal. So they're for you. Use them wisely. Start to be aware of how your body feels and what feels good for your body today. So if you are in a child's pose, making your way up to all fours and back into that downward facing dog position. So again, we'll lift the heels up, we'll look forwards, and you can step or walk up towards the top of your mat. However you want to get there, just move there. And when you get there, separate your feet hip distance, folding forwards towards your legs. Again, hands onto your thighs, or maybe you can release down a little bit more. And if you want to take hold of opposite elbows again, you can make sure the other arm is in front. Very gently swaying or staying still, however it feels best. When you're ready, slowly release your arms again. As you inhale, start to lengthen, so moving up, stretch out through your spine. And on the exhale, just folding all the way back in again. As you inhale, we'll reach up, so rising up, stretching up with your arms. Exhale, palms meet the heart. Okay, we'll keep going there. So inhale, reaching back up with your arms, big stretch. Exhale to fold forwards. Lengthening your spine on the inhale. And as you exhale, hands touch the ground and your left foot will step back. Again, as you step back with your left foot, please feel free to lay the knee down or keep it lifted, whatever you feel is right. So up onto your fingertips, maybe up onto a block or two if you'd like. And moving through that cat-cow again. So as you inhale, start to pull and stretch your spine forwards. And then on the exhale, without moving the legs at all, start to round through your upper back and shoulders. So do that again. So inhale, start to draw yourself forward. Good. Exhale, rounding in. Okay, we'll do that one more time. So again, reaching forward through your chest. And then drawing everything back in. Belly pulls in, chin to chest. Okay, we'll move forward. So just into a kind of more neutral position this time. And then from there, again, if you have your back knee on the ground, you might want to lift that up. We'll step back into that plank position again. Again, your knees can be lifted here, or you can just lower the knees down and then bend your elbows and lower down towards the ground. If you want to take a Chaturanga to upward facing dog, then you can. And then when you're ready, we'll take that little Cobra. And on the exhale, we'll maybe press up onto your knees first. And then again, you can either push back into that child's pose, or you can tuck your toes and lift your hips, downward dog. It'll be up to you, whatever feels right. You'll have 5 breaths wherever you are. So resting or making it a more active rest. The downward dog is an active form of rest. It's somewhere we can move to and be in, hopefully with some ease. Your drishti can either be your thighs, your third eye, or maybe you just close your eyes and just pay attention to how your body feels here. You can take a deep inhale through your nose and then just sighing it out your mouth. Okay, when you're ready, from this down dog, we're going to lower your right knee just down towards the ground. As you lower your right knee down, you're going to extend your left leg behind you. So the right knee is down, the left leg stretches back. And then from there, all we're going to do is to bend into your left leg. We're just bending the left leg in. Try and keep your knee and your hip fairly level. And that might be enough just staying here. If you do want a little bit more, you can reach back with your right hand, maybe grab hold of that left foot, and then just very gently press your foot into your hand. Open up through your chest a little bit towards the side. You know, if it doesn't feel right, then just keep the leg bent and both hands on the ground. Okay, let's take one more inhale. When you're ready, slowly and carefully release your hands, stretching that left foot behind you. And then lower your left foot towards the mat. So tuck your toes under on that left foot. Stepping back into a plank position. So you could move straight to down dog here, or bending your elbows halfway to Chaturanga, or lower your knees to the ground and bend and lower all the way to the mat. So inhale, upward facing or Cobra. Exhale, make your way back into child's pose or downward facing dog. Again, you have 5 breaths. Do with them what you will, so work with what feels best. As we close our eyes in postures, it allows us to be kind of impartial. We're then kind of a little bit less judgmental of how we look. And everybody's body is different, so we just have to be kind of embrace our uniqueness and what our bodies are capable of doing. Sometimes just closing your eyes just gives you the ability to kind of relax and concentrate a little bit more on keeping your mind present. Okay, so we are going to do the same thing on the other side. So if you're in child's pose, maybe move to all fours, tuck your toes and lift your hips downward dog. So we're going to lower down through your left knee this time. So just lowering your left knee down and stretching your right leg behind you. Again, maybe flex your foot a little bit, draw your belly in and bending into that leg a little bit if you can. Again, just stay here, just holding that, or reach back with your left hand, maybe take hold of that right foot, gently pressing the foot into the hand without force, and do what feels best to you. Okay, when you're ready, slowly release. So again, gently extend the leg behind you. And then lower your right toes down towards the mat. So as the toes touch, we're just tucking them under and then stepping back into that plank position. So as you step back, either lower down halfway to Chaturanga or lower your knees, bend your elbows and lower to the mat. And then inhale, either Cobra or upward facing dog. And on the exhale, start to make your way back into that child's pose or down dog. And whatever feels right to you, relaxing there for 5 breaths. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to move again. So moving back up to down dog if you're not already there. From downward facing dog, we'll lift your heels up on your inhale and either step or walk up towards the top of your mat. Take your time. And then folding forwards towards your left. As you inhale, lengthen, so stretching forwards through your spine. On the exhale, just folding back in. On the inhale, we'll reach up, so rising all the way up towards the top. And on the exhale, palms meet the heart. Again, just noticing sensations in your body. Fluctuations in your breath, so sure it stays pretty smooth. Okay. Release the hands, we'll open the eyes. So we're going to come in and do 2 standing postures, some balance included in the standing postures. So I won't ask you to close your eyes on them, the balanced ones, but you could possibly close your eyes on some of the other standing ones. So we'll start at the top of your mat. Feet together, if you'd like, or separate them a little bit. Again, lengthen through the muscles of your legs. See if you can release your shoulders a little and draw your belly in. So as you inhale, we'll reach up, so stretching up, maybe looking at your thumb. When you're ready, on the exhale, we'll fold forward, so bending into your knees, coming down to where you can. Inhale, lengthen, so moving up halfway. And on the exhale, we'll take the hands down. We're going to step back with your right leg again. So we're moving back into this high lunge position. Now from there, if you can, we're going to lift the chest. So we're going to draw the belly in and lift up into that high crescent lunge. So our shoulders are over our hips, the hips are facing forwards, the belly is pulled in, and the right leg is back from the other way. So again, you can just stay where you are. I'm going to reach the arms up. Again, if it doesn't feel right to you to reach your arms, then definitely keep them down. And probably just keeping your eyes open on this one, so it's quite tricky. We will take one more inhale here. Now we're coming in for our first balance. So bring your hands towards your chest. So the first option is just to step up to the top with your right foot, just stepping forwards. If you want, you could step up and keep your knee lifted as you come up. So as you step forwards, the knee lifts as you come forwards. Again, you can step to the top and then lift your right knee. It's really up to you. So with your right knee lifted, hands towards the center, just focusing on your balance. So we're just standing on one leg. And again, you can always put your foot down. You just work where you can. Okay, we're going to take one more inhale. We're going to stretch the arms out to the sides. And then we're going to come in for a little twist here. So we're going to rotate round towards the right. Your left hand just goes to the outside of your right thigh. And then we reach back with your right arm. And just see how that feels as you come into it. Good. So left hand on the right knee and then twisting round. Very nice. Okay, take one more inhale. Come back to the center. If you can, reach your arms up just for a breath or two. Good. And then bring your hands back down. Now again, you can just lower your foot to the ground here. If you can manage, we're going to keep it lifted and you're going to step all the way back into that high lunge. So you're just reaching behind you, trying to find the floor with that high lunge position. Reach your arms up. Good. Okay, now from here, we're going to open to warrior two. So taking your time, just moving round. Heel goes down on the back foot and the arms lengthen forward. Again, take a moment to find your version of warrior two. So bending into the front leg, pulling back on the left knee and squeezing through your right glute to draw the hips apart a little bit. Set your drishti on your front hand. And then maybe close your eyes. Again, just see how it changes the experience. If it makes you feel too wobbly, then definitely open them. But if you can, start to feel the balance in the posture. Start to feel the strength in your hips and your legs. And the openness in your chest. We'll take one more inhale. When you're ready, bring your hands back in towards the center of your chest. So just draw them in. Now from there, we are going to turn back into that high lunge. So if you can, just start to turn on the toes of your back foot. And you might need to adjust your feet a little bit as you come into it, but just see how it feels. And then from here, you can simply stay here. You could reach your arms back up again, or if you want to come in for a little twist, we stretch forwards a little bit, and then taking your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Again, just see how that feels. Work with what feels right. Breathing deeply. Press the palms together and pull up a little bit with your left elbow. Okay, let's take one more inhale. When you're ready, come back in towards the center. So you can keep your hands just towards the center of your chest if you'd like. And then we're just going to step up to the top again. So if you want to, you could do that little knee lift again, just for a breath or two. So just lifting up through that right knee. And then when you're ready, we'll release it down. So we'll bring your feet together, hands together, maybe just closing your eyes for a moment and just noticing sensations of feelings in your body. So we'll try that on the other side. So set up Tadasana first of all. So a nice strong firm position through your feet, belly in. And then just on your inhale, we'll start to reach up again with your arms. As you exhale, folding forward, so bending into your knees as much as you need to as you lower down. Inhale, lengthen, so moving up halfway, stretch your spine out. And on the exhale, folding all the way back down, hands catch the ground and step back with your left foot. Again, we're moving into that high crescent lunge. So when you're ready, on an inhale, draw your belly in, start to lift back up again. Again, if you need to adjust your feet, make them a bit wider, then do that. It's shoulders over hips, arms reaching if you can. Focus your gaze. Steady your breath. we'll take one more inhale. We'll bring the hands down, so just towards the center of your chest. So again, we're going to make our way up to the top. So you could step forwards, foot on the ground, or step forwards and lift up through your left knee as you come up. Again, just work with what feels right. If you come up to the top and then start to lift your knee, that's fine also. Shoulders back and down, belly pulled down, focusing on balancing on that leg, keeping your drishti nice and steady, the breath even. So if you want to come in for the twist, we'll reach the arms out to the side. We'll start to move round towards the left. So your right hand this time just on the outside of that thigh, reaching back now with your left hand. Again, just see how it all feels. You can always take your foot down or modify it in any way that suits you. Steady, focused gaze. When you're ready, slowly release, come back to the center. Maybe reach your arms up just for a breath here. And when you're ready, bring the hands down. So we're going to step back again with this left leg into high lunge. But if that's too much, just release it first and then step back with your left foot. So you're in this high crescent lunge position. Now from here, we're going to open up to warrior two. Take your time. Laying the heel down, opening up through your chest, reaching through your fingers. Again, take time to set it up so it feels good. It feels balanced. You can feel the openness in the body. Start to set your gaze along your right arm and then maybe close your eyes for a moment or two. You can use that to picture a perfect warrior two, so it's one that you think was perfect. And if we can kind of create that in our mind's eye, then what the mind sees, the body then can manifest. Just experiencing it with your eyes closed. Okay, when you're ready, open the eyes. So we're going to draw the hands back towards the center of your chest. I'm going to turn on the toes of your left foot, so coming up into that high crescent lunge once more. So again, please feel free to stay here. If you want to come in for that twist again, just stretching forwards, taking your left elbow to the outside of your right knee, or just staying in that lunge. So whatever foot suits you, feels right. If you want to come into the twist, then moving forwards and twisting right. Okay, slowly back towards the center, coming back up again. We are going to step towards the top of your mat again. So if you want to just step forwards, please do. Or if you want that a little bit more of a challenge, just stepping forwards, lifting the knee. And then you can just release it down. Bring your feet together, hands together, closing the eyes. Okay, release the hands, we'll open the eyes. We are going to make our way down onto your mat. We're just going to come down through kind of a little half sun salutation to do that. So again, feet into Tadasana, spreading your toes, belly in. As you inhale, we'll reach up. And on the exhale, fold. Lengthen forwards on the inhale. And on the exhale, release all the way down, hands to the ground, step to plank. So we're going to lower all the way to the mat here. So again, your choice. So knees down first, or bend your elbows and lower all the way down. So it's up to you. And as you release down to your mat, maybe just bring your arms around and lower your head towards your crossed over arms. You can just take a moment to release there. Maybe closing your eyes. Now we're going to come in for bow pose. So we're going to do a little variation of a kind of half bow first of all. So if you make sure if you've got your arms crossed over, then your right arm is on top of your left. So check that out first. And then separate your feet and your knees about hip distance apart. Bending through your right leg, so we're just going to bring your right heel in towards your hip. And you might just stay there. If you want to, you could reach back with your right arm, grab hold of it. And as you press your foot into your hand, you could also press through your left arm, lift your chest up a little bit, but just see how that feels. Again, just make it feel kind of good. So rather than it doing any harm, make sure it's doing you some good. Without force, without aggravating anything. And when you're ready, slowly release that down. Release your arms and drop your head down. So as we do that single leg bow, when you come in and you do the double one, try and make sure you get the same sense of ease in it. So it shouldn't feel any more kind of aggressive than that. It needs to feel quite gentle. So when you're ready, we'll try the other side. So you might want to change the cross of your arms and have your left arm on top. We'll bend the left leg in. Again, just take your time. And you might just stay like that. You might reach back with your left hand, taking hold of your foot again, pressing your foot into your hand. Maybe you push up to your right arm to lift your chest a little bit. But again, check out how it feels and work with something that's going to do you good. When you're ready, slowly release. Bring your arms back round, drop your head down, take a moment there. Maybe move your hips a little bit side to side. So again, any little movements that you feel are beneficial, then do them. So we are going to move into bow now. So we're going to bend both of your legs. Again, that may be enough, just bending both legs and just staying in this position. If you want to reach back with your hands and lift your chest up, as you lift your thighs perhaps a little bit, then do that. Or if you can, grab hold of both of your feet, start to press your feet into your hands, lifting your chest at the same time. Again, check and see it's not too much, it's not too aggressive in the way that you're doing it. Soften it as much as you can. Okay. We'll take one more inhale. We'll start to release all the way back down again. So release your legs, release your upper body. Again, if you want to bend your knees once more and then just gently move your legs side to side, then you can as well. And from here, we're going to move ourselves up, not too far, but if you use your hands under your shoulders, press yourself up. So you're moving up into an all fours position. So just walking your knees forwards. As you come into this all fours, we're going to stretch your hips a little bit. So we're going to push both of your hips just over towards the right side. So just swing them over to the right and then turn your head down towards that right hip. Inhale, come back into the center. We'll go the other way. So push both of your hips over to the left. Start to rotate around. So you're turning around. See if you can see that left hip. Move back into the center. Let's do that once more on either side. So push your hips to the right. Turn and look towards the right hip. And do that on the left side. And from there, come back into the middle. And we're going to take a wide leg child's pose. So just widening your knees a little bit. Maybe bring your feet together and then set your hips back towards your heels. As you do that, you might stretch your arms out. So if you want a bit more active, you can. You can grab a block and place it under your head, or just cross your arms over and drop your head down towards your arms. We'll take one more inhale. We're going to start to move back up. So you can start to use your hands again. Press yourself back up into sitting position. So we're going to swing your legs around towards the front when you're ready. We're going to come in and do half Comicasana legs or Comicasana, so you can choose that one. If you move your legs around towards the front, if you straighten your legs out in front of you, again, you could sit on a block here if you wanted to, or a folded up blanket or something. We're going to keep the right leg straight, and then we'll just bend your left leg in. And as you bend your left leg in, we're going to take it across the right leg. The idea with Comicasana is we try and stack the knees as much as you can. So if you can, stack your left knee as closely as you can over the top of your right knee. So just, again, if it's fairly high, it doesn't matter, but see if you can stack it a little bit. And then if you can, move your left foot towards the outside of your right hip. So we just move that foot up a little bit. So coming into this variation, then you can just stay here, flex your foot. You could stay upright, or maybe you could inhale and reach up. And then on the exhale, just folding towards your legs. And again, you might not get very far. You could use a strap around your foot if you wanted to. And if you do want a little bit more, you can always come into Comicasana with the legs by bending in through your right leg as well. So your right foot then comes round to the outside of your left thigh. Again, if you're happy enough here, then just stay with it. Start to use your breath again. So these ones, definitely closing the eyes will help you to focus on the sensations that you're feeling. Maybe you can remove some of the other senses as well. So maybe you can take away the sense of sound. But withdrawing our senses requires a lot of patience, a lot of practice. Just take one more inhale. I'm going to start to move up, so just take your time, use your hands. And then from there, if you straighten out both of your legs, bend your knees a little bit, move your hands behind you so you've got a little bit of support, and then just very gently, just sway your legs side to side. Just loosening off a little bit through your hip. Okay, we'll try that on the other side. So again, straighten through your legs, sit up, tall and upright, and then we'll bend in through your right leg. So taking that over the top of your left, see if you can stack the right knee over the top of the left knee as best you can. And then moving your right foot to the outside of your left thigh, just to where it feels kind of right. And either stay here, so sit tall, or maybe reach up and fold in. Just moving forwards towards that leg again. You can grab the foot or take a strap and then do that. If you do want a little bit more, then you bend in again through your left leg. So just taking your left foot all the way around to the outside of your right hip. It's up to you, whatever feels best and right. And you start to move in, maybe closing your eyes. Start to focus on your breath. Maybe deepening the breath a little bit. And use the breath to soften the muscles a little. take one more breath here. When you're ready, slowly start to move up. Again, take your time. Release your legs again. And bend your knees a little bit. Again, move your hands behind you. And then just move the legs a little. Just releasing tightness, tension. Okay, from here, we are going to make our way down onto your mat. So if you want to, you can just come in and take a bridge. So you can use your block here just to make it more restorative if you would like. Again, just moving in. If you don't want to use a block, then definitely just come into your version of bridge. Have your feet hip distance, your toes facing forwards. And if you're using the block, just lifting your hips up. Just play about with the height of the block here. So sometimes a little bit higher is better, sometimes not. So just make sure you feel supported. If you're not using your block, then just press yourself up a little bit higher till you come into a comfortable position. So somewhere you can hold, somewhere you can relax in. And when you get there again, you could close your eyes. Maybe beginning to focus on your breath. Using it to expand your ribs. Breathing into the sides and the front of your rib cage. Okay, we'll take one more inhale here. So when you're ready, if you do have a block, then just lifting your hips up a little bit to remove the block. If you don't have a block, then just slowly releasing yourself all the way back down towards the mat. As you do that, maybe drawing your knees just in towards your chest, so you can make any movements that you like when you get there. From there, we're going to come in just for a very simple twist. So you can keep your knees in if you like, spread your arms, kind of like a T shape with your arms, and then just lowering your knees just over towards one side. Maybe turning your head along the opposite arm. When you're ready, slowly back towards the middle. Take it the other way. So again, just turning the head if you'd like. And just when you're ready, just bring your knees back in towards the middle. With the knees coming in towards your chest. Final time. Make any little movements that you like. We are going to move into Shavasana next. So if you do want to grab a jumper, put some socks on, then do that and then make your way back in. You're just starting to find a comfortable position. Begin to notice your breath again, without changing it in any way this time. Just allow it to find its own natural rhythm. As you lie here, start to listen to the sounds around you. Feel the sensation of the clothes on your body, the air on your skin. Dwell here for a while. Welcome aromas inside the nostrils and tastes inside your mouth. Sense the changing colour behind your eyes. Now slowly start to let go of the senses one by one. Taste. Touch. Smell. Sight. And sound start to fade out as you draw yourself inwards. Notice your senses start to give way to more subtle sensations within. You're shining the spotlight of concentration into the dark waters of your body, or the cave of your heart. Draw your attention inwards. When you're ready, we're going to take a deep inhale. So through your nose. And then we're just going to sigh out your mouth. You can do that again, just deeply inhale. And then just let it go. We'll start to move a little bit. So through your fingers and your toes. If you'd like to stretch your arms over your head, then just moving all the way down to your feet. As you bring your arms back over, beginning to bend the knees a little, just make some movement. You can either roll over onto your side or make your way up, whatever feels right to you, but just take your time, whatever you're doing, and keep your eyes closed maybe. As you come up, we'll just find a comfortable seat. We'll bring the palms together, so just in front of your heart, just leaving a little gap to signify an openness in your heart. So thank you so much for coming along and practicing with me this morning. I hope you enjoyed the Pratyahara practice that we did. Namaste. Thank you very much, ladies. I'm just going to stop this recording and then you can unmute yourself.